I think this is going to be the most awkward driving talk, but we'll get into it. Hi guys, I am Miss, oh my gosh, I'm Katelin. I am not Miss Katelin. I am at work, but I am not at work right now. I am in my car driving home from work. I've been Miss Katelin all day. So I'm Katelin, I'm 25. I am currently trying to conceive. I am creeping up on, in like, I think 9 days, it'll be officially a year that I have been trying to conceive. And so I'm on cycle, I would say 11, possibly. I think next month in May will be 12. So I'm on cycle 11 that I've been trying, and this last month I was on my metformin for the first time since it's been upped. I ovulated super early from what I can tell. I had very present egg white cervical mucus, and I am pretty sure I ovulated on cycle day 10, which was April 5th from what I understand. I am currently 11 DPO. Yes, because today's the 16th. So I'm 11 DPO. I'm just gonna run through some symptoms I'm having and what I've been doing and how I've been testing and all that jazz. And I'm gonna keep my hands on the wheel because I am a safe woman. I'm just going to keep looking straight and just talk and get it out there while I'm driving. So I really appreciate anybody who's sitting here listening. This is me just documenting what I'm going through on this TTC journey, and I am, all right, here we go. So I haven't made a video in about 12 days. Whenever I last updated, I was very excited. I was pretty sure I was ovulating that day. I felt really good. I was in a really good place mentally. Excuse me, so sorry. And then I just kind of like waited. Oh my God. Sorry, I'm like sitting at this stop sign trying to concentrate. This guy's right next to me and he really definitely could have gone, and I wish he would have, but he was on his phone. Okay, so I had egg white cervical mucus, and I was really confident that I had ovulated, and so I had baby danced with my husband. We did the deed, we did what we gotta do, whatever. We had sex, and we were together for a few days, and then so within the next 3 days we did it 2 more times, and then yeah, we definitely fell off of our 30 days trying to have intimate moment 30 times in a row. It is a lot harder than it looks, and yes. So anyway, back to where I was at. After that point, I didn't have any really big symptoms. I continued to track my LH. It stayed a little high for a few more days after that. Only got to a high point where I believe it's 8/0.8 in my Premom app. If it goes up, the contrast is 0.8 or higher, it is on the high side, and it only went over 0.8 one time. Everything else was on the lower side, but it was low. So after my peak, I just had a few ups. I think there's one up. I'm so tired. So let's get into symptoms. So after that, I was completely fine, didn't feel any symptoms, didn't have any concerns. It wasn't, I've been super stressed out about it. I am kind of doing this, my brain is obsessing so badly here lately that it is to the point where it's obnoxious to be around me. So I am testing constantly, I'm talking about it constantly, and so I'm really trying to get better about that. And we'll get to the end of this video and I'll kind of talk about where we are with that as well. TTC right now. So it has been hard. I tested 9 days DPO, BFN. I tested 7 DPO as well, BFN. 9 DPO, BFN. Today is 11 DPO? Yes, 11 DPO, BFN. but I'm going to talk about some symptoms. So on Saturday, I started feeling this weird itchy feeling in the bottom of my tummy. Don't know what that was. And then yesterday I started cramping. Well, it was more, I started cramping more on Sunday on my way home from church. I was sitting in the passenger side and I looked at my husband and I said, "Ooh," and he goes, "What?" And I said, "I'm really crampy." And he goes, "Oh, honey, you're probably about to start your period. Everything's fine. Do you need anything? Do you want me to pull over?" And we came inside. I was like, "No, it's noticeable, but it doesn't hurt," which is really weird because, and I've said this before, is that I usually get such bad cramps where I'll vomit, I'll be incapacitated and lay down and won't be able to move around or anything. And that's for 2 days of my 5-day period. So I didn't have that amount of cramping. It was just like, oh, that's cramping. You know, it's like, I can't explain it because I've had cramps for years. I've dealt with it since I was, you know, in the 7th grade. And I'm just used to it at this point. But also, today, well, it was really on Sunday, later, I was checking my CM and my cervical position and the openness, the softness, all that. I do that every day in the evening. And I checked it and I pulled my hand out to check my CM. This is so TMI. And there was a little bit of blood. So I kind of look at it and I wipe it on a piece of toilet paper. And I was like, okay, why am I bleeding? I'm 6 days out from my period. I never get my period this early. I had my period like the 28th of March. Like, what is going on? I usually have 40 plus day cycles. And I'm thinking it's either two things. We'll start with my first thing first. I think that either my metformin is regulating my cycle for me and bringing my 40-day cycle more to a 28 to 31 day cycle, which that would be wonderful too, because then it's less of time in between each cycle of trying. And then today I had more blood, dark brown to start, and then it got really light pink. And I think it could have been implantation bleeding. I'm not putting my eggs in that basket yet because I don't want disappointment. I took a pregnancy test this morning. I took a strip, an easy at-home strip, and then I took an early response, first response, early response with my first morning urine. And those were both negative, but in something in my head, I feel like I saw a very, very, very faint line to the point where I downloaded a pregnancy test checker on my phone, which I've never felt like that was going to be necessary for me. Like, I was always that person on support groups that are like, oh, if you have to post an inverted picture, it's probably negative. I became that person, and I fully believe anybody who has line eyes, and you know, it's like you just don't know. You want it so bad and you're like, am I crazy? Tell me I'm crazy and do it in a way that doesn't hurt my feelings. So I'm gonna test again on Thursday. I'll be 13 days DPO at that point. I'm 12 tomorrow. I'm just very, very confused. I really hope it's implantation. All right, so let's talk about symptoms too. So I had that cramping, I had this bleeding, my nipples are completely like the most sore they've ever been, to where like my bra hurts them, and they're always on display. They're always showing through my shirt, through, like I rubbed up against them yesterday and it felt like I had big marbles on my chest. I felt like, you know, it hurt really, really bad. Not as much as like my breasts themselves, because I do have larger size breasts and they're always kind of sore because of how heavy they are. But my nipples are never sore. I really have low sensitivity in my nipples and they are very sore. And then I'm having a backache, lower backache, aching, pulling, kind of like I've overworked my back just a little bit. And then I am tired, but I think that's like my symptom always before I start my period, is I get really, really tired and I start going to sleep really early right before I start my cycle again. So I could be gearing up for my cycle to start again, and that's okay. But I do want to talk about my next step, and I kind of always do that, okay, what's next type thing. I have made the choice for the next, I would say 4 months. So it's April now. For May, June, July, August, yeah, for the next 4 months, I am not going to actively try to conceive. Actively being test strips, obsessively tracking and testing. And my goal is to delete all my apps and to change, kind of wipe out my YouTube type stuff. I'm going to keep all my videos up until I get to that point where I'm ready to try again. Me and my husband are just kind of having a transition period in our life. We're about to be first-time homebuyers. We're starting the process right now. I'm going to a major university in the fall. I'm going to be working full-time in the summer, which I normally work part-time and go to school part-time. So that's about to happen. I don't want... So sorry. I don't want that energy that I could be spending on my husband to be spent on obsessing over something that eventually one day will happen. I go to see a fertility specialist in May, and I think what I'm going to basically get ready for is what's our next step. So do you want me to lose weight? Do you want me to work on raising money for an IUI? What would you like for us to do next? So that's what I'm going to talk to them about. I probably get panels done and all that. If they're like, hey, well, we want to start you on Clomid. Well, I want to start Clomid in August after we buy our house. Even maybe January. Like, you know, that's like, I want to be financially prepared for it. And I think that it will take a lot of stress off of me and my husband. And really get us into our house. And I'm transitioning into a full-time job. And that is a big deal. That is a hard thing. So anyway, that is where I'm at right now. I am going to try to upload again until I get a answer for this cycle, and then it will be kind of my last cycle until I think I say I'm ready. I mean, heck, you don't know, I could come on here in July and be like, I'm pregnant. So I'm really not doing anything special other than taking metformin. That's it right now. That's all I have to do right now. So we shall see. All right, guys. Keep your head up. Keep on focus. Oh my goodness. Keep focused. Keep the faith and keep hopeful. I love you guys. If you're watching, I love you, and it's gonna happen for you. And thanks for listening. Bye.